vague.
All right, welcome back to this episode of Math. I am your host, Mr. Miller. We are talking about completing the square today. So the reason we complete the square is, in the end game is we need to find...
The roots.
Yes, exactly. We need to find the roots of the equation. That's what we're after, okay? We need to find the roots, and the roots are where it crosses your x-axis, all right? Okay, so let's go ahead and do that first. So to solve by completing the square, this is already done for us. We want the x's on one side, your x squared and your x, and the whole numbers on the other. In this case, this is already the way we want it. Now, the rules for completing the square. You take your middle number, okay, which is a -6, and you divide that by 2, which equals -3. Okay. Now you're going to square that, and that is going to get you a +9. Okay. So now that we have that, we're going to rewrite our equation as x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals that -4 plus that 9. Okay. What you need to see is we have to add 9, not just here, but also here. We have to add 9 to both sides. This is the death nail for the rest of you, is you forget this part, and then it's all bad and bad things happen.
Yeah, that's one of the parts that I
Yes.
keep forgetting.
Yes. So you need to add 9 to both sides. Okie dokie. And to
Because
even...
it doesn't replace the x, it's just there.
It's just there. That's right. Okay. If it's helpful to draw arrows, you can do that. Okay. All right. So now that we got that, that is step 1. Okay. Actually, technically, that's step 1. That's step 2. If you really want to get technical about it. Okay. Sorry. That's step 1. That's step 2. So step 1 is to complete the square. Step 2, add to both sides. You with me? Okay.
Yep.
Now, step 3 is we're going to go ahead and factor. So if we take a look at this, the reason we complete the square, the idea is we want to be able to factor this whole thing. That's the idea. This is a perfect square.
So simplify it.
Yeah, exactly. Simplify it, all right?
So that'd be 3.
Exactly. So this is going to be x minus 3 times x minus 3.
So find the similarity number, and then...
Yeah, and if you really want to get really technical, are you ready for this Mr. Miller magic trick? What number is that?
That is -3.
That's a -3. That is automatically what becomes your factor here.
Yeah, it makes sense because you have
Sure.
6 before. You divide it.
That's right.
Then you square it. The square is the next number. So
That's
you
right.
can literally just go through the last steps. Just take that out instead of going like this convoluted way.
Well, this convoluted way is the way it works, but if you see it the other way, that's fine. -4 plus 9, I believe, is a +5. You do not have to write the positive sign. I'm dyslexic. I lose track of signs, so I write the positive. All right. I'm going to go ahead and scroll up just a little bit. Okay. So now we got this. You can skip this step, although I don't recommend it. I like having that, but now you realize that there's 2 of these things. So step 4 is going to say, all right, there's 2 of these, so this is x minus 3. Now there's 2, so it's going to become a square. All right. Still equals 5. I'm going to leave off the positive sign now.
Yeah, so...
Okay? Yes. So the reason we complete the square is we want to get to this point.
And then we find the square root to get rid of that square, and then... Hello again.
Okay? Right.
Yeah,
So
get rid of that square.
get rid of the square. Okay? Now, leave it on there. It's okay. So now we get this far, yeah? Okay? So step 5
Yeah.
is we're going to end up taking the square root of both sides.
Yeah, square root to get rid of that squared.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just x minus 3 and then
Right.
equals the square root of 5.
Yeah, plus or minus. Hang on.
Plus or minus.
When you take a square root, there's a plus or minus you have to consider, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to scoot up a little bit.
And then
So
that will be the root.
exactly. So this is going to cancel out and just become an x minus 3. That plus or minus is just going to go away. Okay. However, this is a plus or minus 5.
Yeah.
We need to keep that plus or minus 5. So this is going to equal plus or minus the square root of 5.
Yep.
Okay.
Is that like a full number or is that a decimal?
It will be a decimal, but for all intents and purposes in this instance, leave it as a root for right now.
Got it.
Okay.
But we will need that later.
We will need that later. Absolutely.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right. We'll come back to that. All right.
Got it.
So now after we get this far, questions on this so far?
Not really. I think like
Sweet.
this is just popping up again. In
It's
my mind.
popping up. All right. So now there's a negative involved here, so we have to do the opposite. This is a -3. We have to do the opposite because we want to get x by itself. Remember, my ex-girlfriend deserves to be by herself.
So then that becomes a +3, and you move
That's right.
that to the other side, so it's going to be +3
Mhm.
plus or minus the square root of 5.
Yes. So
God.
x.
Just say my ex-girlfriend deserves to be by herself. Is there not another way to teach getting X alone than in for women? It's 2019. It's the Me Too era. Perfect. Carry on.
Oh boy. Poor Mr. Miller.
Okay. So now that we get this far,
Oh,
okay.
I did the dyslexic thing because I am dyslexic. I had the plus in front of the 3 because I didn't. It's a +3.
Yeah, you have to add 3 to both sides. Okay. All right, so now we got this far. Now remember, now if we go back to the very original equation, are you ready? The very, 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 very original equation was this. Don't look at anything else but this.
X
Okay.
squared minus 6x equals -1.
Right, okay. What's important is what you just said here. What number is that?
That is x squared.
Yes, but that's a 2.
That's 2?
That's a squared.
It is 2.
Yeah, so because that exponent is at 2, how many answers are we going to have?
2.
Fantastic.
Of
That
course.
exponent is at 2. So we're going to have two different answers.
Yeah,
right?
There's 2 roots.
Exactly.
If there's the squared, then it's going to be 2 roots. If it's cubed, then it's going to be 3.
Yeah, if it's cubed, it's 3. Fourth, there's 4.
Yeah.
Exactly. Good, good,
So
good.
on and so forth.
Yeah, of course, right? So there's 2 answers. Hold the phone. Let's go down here. Okay. Mr. Miller, there's supposed to be 2 answers. I only have 1. Ah! Contraire, my frere.
This is where it
This,
really
okay, you got a plus and a minus.
and that's where you need to find the actual
Yeah.
square root.
So what we're going to
I
say,
don't have a viable way of doing that.
Just
because
watch.
My calculator doesn't.
just watch.
Alright.
Can we agree with that statement? That's the first one.
E.
Then the next one is x equals 3 minus square root of 5. Can we agree with that statement? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Whatever the square root of 5 is not that important. So when we need to solve by completing the square, this is it. We got x is 3 plus root 5, and then x is 3 minus root 5. So whatever that is, that's your answer.
So do we have to find the answer now?
No, that's it. That's the acceptable.
That's it? We're done?
We're done.